Hello, my name is Audrey Schweers, and I am a senior in the College of Health and Human Services and a member of the Honors College here at Bowling Green State University. My project is titled Women's Self-Efficacy Before and After Hiring a Personal Trainer at the Bowling Green State University Student Recreation Center. Throughout the research process, I was assisted by my three advisors. Nathan Peters, an assistant teaching professor within the exercise science sector of the College of Education and Family Studies, was my primary advisor. Dr. Philip Welch is an associate professor in the public health sector of the College of Health and Human Services. He served as my secondary advisor. Karen Smith, a health educator and faculty and staff wellness coordinator at the Bowling Green State University Student Recreation Center, also assisted in my project and is listed as a secondary advisor. This project is serving as my undergraduate research project in conjunction to graduate with university honors. Before the coronavirus pandemic, the plan for my research was to conduct an experimental study utilizing the Student Recreation Center as the primary gym. At the Student Recreation Center, a controlled workout plan made by myself, an American Council on Exercise personal trainer, would be conducted by participants. Due to the pandemic and the inability to have control over the reopening of gyms, I felt as though my research question could still be answered via a survey. The survey I created was sent to women who have hired and utilized a personal trainer at the Student Recreation Center in the past 5 years. The overall purpose of my study was to analyze the self-efficacy in women before and after hiring a personal trainer at the Bowling Green State University Student Recreation Center. Before heading into my own research, I would like to take some time to explain the benefits of hiring a personal trainer, defining self-efficacy in exercise, and explaining its importance. As many of you may know, exercise is important to maintaining a healthy weight and decreasing the risk of health-related diseases. Exercise helps a person to maintain their desired weight while reducing high blood pressure, the risk of heart disease, strokes, type 2 diabetes, and some forms of cancer. Other diseases that disproportionately affect women, such as osteoporosis, can be reduced with sufficient exercise. In addition, exercise can benefit one's mental health. Exercise has been proven to reduce the levels of stress, anxiety, and other mental health-related conditions that have the potential to limit the brain's cognitive ability. The CDC recommends that adults perform 150 minutes of moderate-intensity aerobic activity or 75 minutes of vigorous intensity aerobic activity, or an equivalent of the two each week. Unfortunately, national reports show that more than 60% of U.S. women do not meet these recommendations for physical activity, and more than 25% do not engage in any type of physical activity. The American Council on Exercise, which I will refer to now as ACE, is a well-known personal training company, and as I previously mentioned, is the one from which I have personally received my certifications. They are in alignment with the CDC's recommendations for physical activity and want to ensure that their personal trainers emphasize behavioral change and long-term adherence to individualized programs for their clients. Self-efficacy is a psychological concept that, when increased, can help a person overcome a particular situation. In exercise, a person with high self-efficacy is able to better adhere to a program. It is the goal of ACE to educate their personal trainers on ways to increase their clients' self-efficacy. Although not all of the personal trainers at the Student Recreation Center have been certified by ACE, it is still extremely important for all personal trainers to improve a client's self-efficacy so that clients have long-term adherence and a commitment to a life of physical activity. The research question that was asked within my study was, does the self-efficacy of women who have hired and worked with a personal trainer at the Bowling Green State University Student Recreation Center increase? My hypothesis was that the self-efficacy of such women would, in fact, increase. The study was approved in an expedited process by the Institutional Review Board at Bowling Green State University. Data was collected for a total of 1 week, from March 10th through March 17th, 2021. Participants completed an online survey which I created via BGSU Qualtrics. The survey link was distributed to all women who have hired a personal trainer at the Bowling Green State University Student Recreation Center in the past 5 years. Karen Smith, one of my secondary advisors, acted as a confidentiality liaison between myself and the participants because she was the one who sent the survey link. In order to maintain the confidentiality of all participants, Karen was blind to all survey data. In total, the survey consisted of 4 parts: demographics, quantitative information regarding personal training, and a before and after section regarding self-efficacy questions. In order to compare the self-efficacy of participants, the statements within the survey regarding the last 2 sections were identical statements and in the same sequence. They also had the same answer options available for participants. I created all statements and categorized the 7 ACE Personal Training Manual sources of self-efficacy into 5 sources of self-efficacy to condense the number of questions asked. These statements are pictured on the slide. The only difference between the last 2 sections was that participants were prompted to answer the statements from their perspective before and then after hiring their most recent personal trainer at the Student Recreation Center. The answers for the last 2 sections were composed of 5 options: very untrue, untrue, neutral, true, and very true. These answers were coded similarly to that of a 5-point Likert scale, very untrue equaling 1 and very true equaling 5. The answers of participants were coded as described, and the average change scores for each question was calculated. The data was transferred from Bowling Green State University's Qualtrics to an Excel spreadsheet. Once in Excel, the descriptive statistics were run on the women's current age and their ages when hiring a personal trainer. Independent sample t-tests, assuming equal variances, were run to determine if there was a statistically significant difference in the changes of self-efficacy scores reported from pre to post personal training experiences. Of the 17 participants who had completed a survey, 7 women reported an increase in self-efficacy with a mean increase of 8.14, while 7 other women reported a decrease in self-efficacy after training with a mean decrease of negative 1.85. The results are shown in the graph on this slide. 3 women were excluded from this analysis because they reported no change in self-efficacy after personal training. The table on this slide shows that the changes in self-efficacy were statistically significant between the 2 groups due to the fact that the p-value was less than 0.05. Overall, there was an increase in the self-efficacy of participants. The largest increases in self-efficacy were found in the questions categorized as mastery experiences as the sources of self-efficacy. This can be shown by the graph indicating the average change score for each question. Therefore, it can be said that the null hypothesis is rejected. It is also important to discuss the demographics of the participants. Of the 144 women who were emailed the survey link, 19 women participated in the study for a completion rate of 13.2%. All participants identified as women. The participants are primarily Caucasian, and 15 of the 19 participants have hired just 1 personal trainer, with the others hiring 2 or 3 personal trainers. All of this information and more can be seen in the table on this slide. The results of this research are subject to limitations. The target population was limited due to a small convenient sample of 19 women. Of those 19 women, 16 of them are Caucasian and 18 are non-Hispanic. Therefore, there is a lack of diversity in the race and ethnicity of those who participated in the study, which decreases the generalizability of the findings. In addition, these 19 women that chose to participate may have worked with satisfactory trainers, and those who had a poor experience with their personal trainers at the Student Recreation Center may have declined to participate. Also, there were 2 survey errors which may have allowed for some statistical discrepancies. First, there was a survey glitch which caused 2 participants to be unable to respond to the statements regarding their self-efficacy after seeing a personal trainer. Second, the survey had one error. Question 30 gave no option for the participants to choose. Very untrue. Finally, the survey was limited. It was a one-time survey. Participants may have encountered recall bias because of this. To conclude the long-term effects personal training may have on a woman's self-efficacy, and in order to determine causality, longitudinal research would need to be performed. In conclusion, the findings of this research suggest that the self-efficacy of women who have hired a personal trainer at the Bowling Green State University Student Recreation Center in the past 5 years increased as a whole. This increase was seen specifically in the source of self-efficacy categorized as mastery experiences. Those who participated in this survey found that through their time working with the personal trainer at the Student Recreation Center, they had more confidence in their knowledge of exercise techniques, benefits, and programming, as well as their ability to maintain their health goals pertaining to the gym set forth by themselves and their personal trainer. The ACE Personal Training Manual emphasizes that mastery experiences are the most significant predictor of self-efficacy. Therefore, the results of this study align with the past research done by ACE. To the best of our knowledge, there has been no similar study conducted at the Bowling Green State University Student Recreation Center regarding personal training. Due to the results of this research, it would be recommended that the Bowling Green State University Student Recreation Center spend a sufficient amount of time and resources when training their personal trainers on the mastery experience source of self-efficacy. With a heightened emphasis on mastery experiences, there is a higher chance that those who identify as women will be able to better adhere to a workout plan created by their personal trainer. This advancement, therefore, will increase the overall physical activity of those who hire and work with the personal trainer at the Bowling Green State University Student Recreation Center. Thank you.